Hey everyone, and in front of the camera here I have a Northwood Knives Fayette jack. This is new for 2018, and Northwood Knives is a company that is owned by Derek Bone, and most of the recent manufacturing that has been done by Knives Ship Free. So Derek Bone himself does not have a factory that makes this knife. He has another manufacturer produce the knives that he requests. So the Fayette Jack is based on the number 56 frame by Great Eastern Cutlery. So he basically, these are special factory orders essentially through GEC, and they're done on existing frames that GEC has. And he just requests certain materials for the covers and certain blade shapes, and a lot of them are that kind of modified Wharncliffe that he runs. So this one is actually in a kind of light green giraffe bone. The Fayette Jack was run in, I believe, a variety of giraffe bone colors, black linen micarta, red linen micarta, and a few burlap micartas, and I think that was about it. If you're familiar with the drops of Northwood knives, I mean, if you don't get on the site within a few minutes of the drop, you don't have a chance to get a knife. At least at his retail prices, you have to go to the secondary market. So Northwood knives that are produced by GEC have typically sold out within 10 minutes on Derek Bone's site. So they are very hard to acquire at retail price, but they usually go up on the secondary market pretty quick. So this one's in this nice green giraffe bone. I'm glad that I was able to get a hold of it because if you're familiar with the buying process, sometimes you'll get something in your cart at Knives Ship Free, and by the time you go to check out, someone else has already paid for it, and you lose the chance to get that knife. So again, this is based on the number 56 dogleg jack pattern, which was also run at the beginning of 2018. These drops of these Northwood knives are pretty secretive. Great Eastern Cutlery normally doesn't even post pictures of them in production in the What's Happening page on their website. So typically it's not until Derek gets one of these, or gets one of his runs in stock at his store, and he starts taking pictures of it, that you actually know a new Northwood Knives model is about to be dropped. I mean, you can kind of take a guess based on what's currently in production, what the next Northwood Knives might be run on. So again, this was on the 56 frame. So you have again, bolsters here at the pivot end, bolsters, the end cap here, Northwood Knives arrowhead shield. Take it or leave it. Some people don't like the way that shield looks, but Derek Bone bought Northwood Knives, and I think out of respect for that company and the company's history, he continues to use the arrowhead shield that they've used before. So nice giraffe bone handles here. I love the way it takes dye, you know, when they put different colors of dye in it. Giraffe bone is usually the most expensive handle material unless they have mammoth or some kind of ivory on a drop. But yeah, giraffe bone being the most expensive, followed by I think the burlaps or camel bones, and then I think the linen micartas are usually the cheapest. So Northwood knives, I mean, some people have had problems with fit and finish recently and blade centering. I'm not sure if it's just because they rush out these runs at Great Eastern Cutlery, because a lot of GECs I have don't have those problems, and of course these are produced by GEC, but it might just have to be something where they're rushing things out, and maybe that's part of the problem. Again, the demand for these knives and how high these go on the secondary market. I mean, they'll go like 2 or 3 times on the secondary market on eBay or just on the forums. It's interesting too that when you do when you get a Northwood knives, they usually don't have those brass liners. So it's all just that silver finish. Looks pretty cool. So this one's centered well. The back spring termination's a little bit crooked, but that's not that big of a deal. That's more aesthetic than function. Yeah, there's no catch on this. Interestingly enough, on this there actually is a half stop. So the 56s here that were run at the same time, there is no half stop. So I'm sure that was a request by Derek Bone to put the half stop in. These all have that kind of modified Wharncliffe blade that Derek Bone is known for. So pretty neat. I really like how that turned out. Now it's part of that rustic kind of line, so it's got the heat treat scale on the flats, and instead of being full flat ground blades, we have a saber ground blade, and that's typical of Derek Bone's Northwood knives runs. So if you don't like saber ground blades and you don't like the heat treat on the flats here, I mean, you probably won't like Northwood knives, because that's what he's typically been running recently in the recent drops. I can't remember the last time he actually ran one where it was just a full flat ground, no heat treat scale left. So you got Northwoods stamped into the blade there. You have a long pole. Yeah, I guess you call it a long pole there. USA here. There's no indication of like a model number or anything. That's just how Northwood knives are. You can usually pinch these open. So even though you have that long pole, I mean, these are so easy to pinch open. And let's see, they're probably around like a 6. They're a little bit more stiff than the 56 dogleg jacks. So that's the Fayette jack. These green giraffe bone handles. Looks really cool. I'm really glad I got a green one. It's hard to find these on the secondary market in any model. Interestingly enough too, he went to this as, so when you get a Northwood knives from Derek, he actually includes a pocket slip, and this time around he included this style pocket slip versus what he usually includes as a Main Street pocket slip. So Northwood knives do not come in a tube, they come in a baggie with a pocket slip and now sometimes a coin. So this is actually similar to a design of pocket slip he used to have in Northwood knives. Works well. I mean, you get this. Northwood knives are more expensive than the GEC counterpart, but you get a free pocket slip and you get the exclusivity of the Northwood knives. And his pocket slips work well. Let's see, so looks good. So the Fayette jack, pretty cool knife, especially if you like Wharncliffe blades. Again, you're not going to find any of these on his website. You're going to have to go outside of his website and pay. Unless you get the right seller, you're going to have to pay well above what they retailed. But it's still a cool knife. Hopefully these runs of these Fayette jacks were better than some of. I know the Little Base had a lot of problems with blade centering and whatnot. Hopefully these Fayette jacks are good. I mean, I hope GEC isn't rushing these out just to get these runs done. So there you go, the Fayette jack, really cool knife by Northwoods Knives. Love that blade shape. The Wharncliffe. So any comments or questions down below, and thanks for watching.